What's going on, guys? And I promise you this is not like a little boring sit down video. I'm just going to keep the intro short though, because there's a lot of things I want to get through, and this video is basically going to be the unseen footage from my California trip, some juicy stories that I've not told before, and just a bunch of stuff that hasn't been on my channel yet. Now obviously I was there for 5 weeks, so I can't put everything in this video, otherwise this video will probably go on for hours and hours and hours. So if you'd want a part 2 after listening to this and watching this, then let me know in the comments below. So first off, I want to let you know like how I was feeling, because if you don't know, I actually did this trip on my own. Like I solo travelled by myself all the way from where I live in Yorkshire to San Diego in California, and that in itself was an experience because I didn't have my mum there to like take control. If you know, like sometimes you just rely on your parents. If you don't know, then mothers know, don't they? And she wasn't there, my sister wasn't there, so like I had to do everything myself. And not to mention, I took the longest coach trip down. And on that coach trip, there was this one dude here. He basically, because I sat at the back left of the coach and I had some girl on the other side on the back right, and then in between us was completely empty. He was sat at the front originally and he was falling asleep on his friend, and his friend kept like nudging his shoulder to like get him off. So then he came and sat at the back of the coach. I've got some footage, I'll put it on. And he just like spread out across the coach. He put his head on the girl's lap, bearing in mind he doesn't even know this girl. And then he put his feet on me. So I was like, nah, this is not happening, mate. So then I kept like pushing his feet off of me, and every time he put his feet up, I'd knock it down. And like, it might sound rude, but it was like a 7-hour coach trip from here to London Heathrow Airport. And I just wasn't having some guy like laying on me and putting his dirty feet on me, because I was in my nice like fresh airport outfit. Like I didn't have time to get changed once I got to the airport, because I was boom straight on the coach, straight through security, and then like a couple of hours left till my flight set off. So I just wanted to be comfortable, and on top of that I was super starving because it was through the night kind of journey, and I slept through the day to make sure I was awake. And obviously coaches aren't going to be like, does anyone want to stop in McDonald's drive-through, because you know there's like 60 of us on there and that'd just be too long and the coach won't fit around anyways. And also I had a can of Big Day, and for those of you who don't know what Big Day is, it's an energy drink by Iman Gadzi. I don't know if you know him, he's like an influencer, he's like a business influencer. So I had one of them cans and I opened it before the journey thinking there'll be cup holders on the coach, right? Get on the coach, there was no cup holders, so I had to hold an open can of Big Day for that long. But then I found that there's a little gap in the side of the seat, so then I just thought, you know what, just stick it in the side of the seat and keep it there. But even still, every time the coach, like not emergency brake but like harsh brakes, that would like rattle around and like fall over, and honestly it was a nightmare. I get to the airport and like I said, I'm on my own, and the coach dropped me off in Terminal 2 and 3 coach parking, and I had to get to Terminal 5. So as soon as I got off the coach, I had to rush to get my suitcase, go downstairs down these like escalators and find my way to these like, it's got like a little train that goes between terminals, and I had to try and find where that is. And luckily, literally at the last second, I got on one of them that was going into like central London, and I realised when I was on there, it said on the announcement, next stop like what's the area called, Kensington, and I was like, next stop Kensington, that's definitely not it, because I need to only go to the other terminal, which is like 2 minutes away. And then I seen I need to be on the other track, so I literally just jumped off and then got on my train, went all the way to the Terminal 5, and I was alright. I thought getting to security, airport, it'll be busy, security busy, but it wasn't. And I was surprised because it was London Heathrow midweek, and I think it was first thing in the morning, so it's like a popular time for flights to be going, and it just wasn't busy. There wasn't that many people there, so that was pretty lucky. So I got through security super quick, super fine, and luckily in Heathrow Terminal 5 there's a Wagamama's. So you know, I had to stop, get some Wagamama's. I put a picture of my dish up on the screen. It was tasty, that was really nice. After that long coach journey, I definitely needed that. So then I was thinking, I've got like an hour to kill before my flight sets off. I'm a football fan, and that was what was going through my head. So my flight sets off, so I'm like rushing around, going to the gate, because the gate was a bit of a trek to it itself as well. So I had to go downstairs and like through like weird places, God knows. Then we get down to the gate, we start boarding. Obviously I'm in economy anyway, so we're like one of the last ones to board, and I sat like near the back, like 3rd row from the back I think it was. Get on the plane, get up to the gate, and sat down waiting for my like section to be called out. Everyone else goes on apart from the last 2 sections. Then they just stop calling people up and we're like, what's happening here? And then everyone just starts coming back off the plane. So they started deboarding everyone, and it turns out there was some like AC fault. So there was a 2.5 hour delay, I think it was. So we were just sat in the airport, just like on the seats, waiting for us to be called back on. And like an hour passed, I was like, oh, is this plane gonna get cancelled? Are we gonna get put on the next one? 2 hours passed, I was like, come on guys. But I was thinking in my head, if 3 hours pass anyway, you get compensated and like a free hotel and stuff. So I was like, come on, 3 hours at least. But literally 2.5 hours passed, and they was like, right, time to get back on. So they literally saved themselves by 30 minutes. We all started boarding the plane again. Obviously, I'm third from the last row, so I was like one of the last ones to be called. Get on the bus, go all the way around like the, it's not a train track, is it? The runways to where our plane was. Board the plane, and then we sat on the plane for like ages. But because we're on the plane, it doesn't get counted as a delay. So, but luckily, on my plane, there was me at the window. There was no one in the middle, and then there was just a guy on the aisle seat. And he was sound. We talked for a little bit, he was just like a normal guy, and he goes, look, I'm not going to want that middle seat because my legs are super long, so he needed the aisle seat. He was like, if you want to put your feet up, or you know, use that for your space. And obviously he's seen the camera, then he says just put your camera there, like whatever you need. So thankfully my economy seat was actually pretty decent. It was pretty relaxing, and I had like ample amount of space, especially for the flight, because the flight was just under 13 hours, non-stop as well. Luckily I was comfortable for the 13-hour flight. And I gotta say as well, shout out to PA, because their food choices, they was amazing. I got butter chicken and rice, some like cheesecake dessert, and then they had spare desserts. There's like some toffee thing, I think it was, or salted caramel or something, and I got one of them as well, and wow, they tasted amazing. And to be honest, I think one of the best things about flying to San Diego was when you go over North America, you just see like, you know, all the states in the middle with like the mountains and everything, like you can see because it flies pretty low. And I don't know, for me, I'm used to just the UK, so it just looked sick. It just looked like really cool to go over. We went over Greenland, which is obviously covered in ice, so I got to see all of that, and Canada, so it's pretty cool. So I land, I'm finally on US soil. I'm in the United States, and it was night time. I didn't really get to see much, but I got some footage flying over. You got to see Mexico, because we came in over Mexico to start with, and then we like looped up, which was a bit weird. I don't know why we did that. And then when we got to San Diego downtown area, oh my gosh, I am from like a little village, like where I live is a little village area, and when you come into San Diego, you fly next to the like the skyscrapers and the office buildings, and no joke, imagine this is like an office building, you're like that close to it, in between them. And it was pretty cool to see, like flying that low over buildings. And I felt the effects of that later on in my Airbnb, because it turns out my Airbnb was right underneath the flight path, and on a night time to start with, it was a nightmare to go to sleep, but I got used to it. But yeah, I land, it's night time, get off the plane, and I didn't even get outside, but as soon as I got out the plane door and was walking through the little tunnels, obviously all the way to border control, I just felt the air and I felt the warmth, and I was like, this is nice. You know, like when you get off a plane and it's completely warm. If you're from the UK, you'll know, you get on the plane and it's freezing, you get off the plane in the other place and it's nice and warm and it just feels good. So obviously I got to border control. It was pretty quick, to be fair. We were the only flight that landed at that time, so there was just our passengers and like our people going through border control, and a lot of them were already US citizens anyway, so they got to use like the quick little gates. So we all queued up for security dudes, and then went through. The security dude as well was pretty calm. He said to me, is this your first time? And I goes, yeah. And he goes, well, once you come in, you're not going to want to leave. I can confirm that is true. Once you get to the US, maybe it's just San Diego where I went, maybe the rest of the US isn't as nice. Obviously I only experienced one place, and it is San Diego, California, which is one of the better places to live. It got ranked in the United States. But he goes, once you come in, you're not going to want to leave. That's how nice it is there. I'm not even lying. When I stepped outside and seen the palm trees and the welcome San Diego sign and like welcome to California, everything, it just got a bit like, I don't want to say emotional, but like emotional, if you know what I mean, because I got there and it's obviously been a massive dream that I've had for a long time. And these last few years I've not been able to go because I've had like stuff to deal with, like a lot on my plate, which maybe in another video I'll get on to, but it was just nice to be there, see the palm trees, see all the American sports cars. I'm not even joking, as soon as I stepped foot foot off that plane, I saw a Corvette and I saw a Ford Mustang, and they're like two of like the cars I wanted to see while I was out there, and I smashed it within 10 minutes of being in San Diego. It was amazing. Like, that journey was worth the journey, like the 8 hours on the coach and the 13 hours on the plane, for even just landing and stepping outside San Diego airport, because it didn't even feel like an airport. It felt like a resort. It was so weird, but it felt really good to, you know, finally be there. So the juicy part, this is where it gets interesting, and I don't believe I told this on my original videos of moving to San Diego, official San Diego home tour. So where do I start? Right, I booked an Airbnb, yeah? Everything was good, everything was fine, and nothing was like a concern. We didn't get any emails from him or anything. So I got there, I get on the bus. The Airbnb was owned by a hotel chain, and the hotel chain was up by the shopping mall, and the Airbnb was in downtown San Diego. Now if you look on a map, that's not going to look far, but it actually is. It takes like 20 minutes in a car, 25 minutes in a car, but it literally is just 2 roads. But because it's far, there's actually a highway connecting it. That's how far it is. You have to go on a highway. So I get on the bus from the airport, the free shuttle to Old Town, and then when I get to Old Town, there's a bus that you have to get from there to the hotel. And no one told me that you can't use your bank card and you can't use Apple Pay on a bus. So I turn up, I didn't take no dollars. The driver goes, you know, it'll be $2.50, which is pretty cool, to be fair. It was a flat fee of $2.50, and you can go from like here to 10 minutes up the road, or here to like 2 hours away, like in La Jolla or up in Poway or Mira Mesa or something, and it would only be £2.50, which was pretty decent. Well, $2.50, sorry. And I get on there and I obviously don't have any cash, and then he was like, oh, that's funny, like it's ridiculous. Which was really weird, because when he said that was funny, I thought he was being like nice, because obviously I'm a British guy, but then he goes, oh, that's ridiculous, just get on, and he let me on the bus. So I mean, shout out to the dude, the Santa looking guy. If you're in San Diego, you probably know who I'm on about, but he was nice, but then he was rude. So if you know the Santa crossed with Gandalf looking dude, tell him I said thanks, but to be nice next time. So then I get to the hotel, I check in with all my details, my documents and all that. I pick up my key card for my Airbnb, hop in an Uber from Airbnb, from hotel to Airbnb. I obviously go inside in the little mini apartment, and then I get in and I'm like, this stinks. Like, not even a good stink, like a bad smell. And I'm allergic to like almost everything. So I can, like, if I'm picking something up like that, then there's something in there that shouldn't be in there. So I start looking around. The carpet had dirt on it. The bedding was all like ruffled, is it? Like it's been used. And the sides were dirty, and even in the toilet, yeah, there was a piece of tissue that looked like it's been used and just not flushed. And I was like, surely not. Surely they haven't got me staying in this. So I was like, I've travelled for almost 24 hours at this point. Why can't it just be fine? Like, so then I called up the Airbnb people, and they goes, oh, we should have cancelled your booking. And I was like, what? Cancelled my booking? They go, yeah, the whole apartment block's under renovation, because there was like 4 or 5 apartments in the block. I was like, well, I'm here. Like, what do you want me to do? And bearing in mind, this was at like, it was late. Can't remember how late it was, but it was super late. And I was like, well, what do you want me to do? It's late at night. I haven't got spare money to be booking a hotel or somewhere else. Even if they refunded me, I won't get my money for like, I don't know, a week, is it? That sometimes money takes to refund on your card. So I was like, what am I supposed to do? I'm in the US, I'm on my own, I don't have no family, I don't have no friends out here. And he was like, oh, well, let me try and sort something out and then I'll get back to you. So then obviously I hop on the phone, I ring my mom, and I'm like, Mom, look at this, I FaceTime her. I don't even think I've got any videos either. I'll see if she recorded it or got any clips of it. And I was like, what do I do? And she was like, you need to just tell them, like, what's happening. Like, you can't stay there, it's disgusting. Even she could see through the FaceTime call on the dodgy internet. So I was like, all right, I'll just have to see what they say. So I just stayed there for about an hour, and then the woman called me back and was like, well, we're gonna set you up in the hotel for the night where you picked up your key card from. So you'll have to make your way up back there, and then we'll deal with it in the morning. And I was like, 2 things. A, I am not paying for another Uber back up to the hotel because of your issue. And number 2, I'm not staying in a hotel for the whole 5 weeks I'm there. They was like, no, don't worry, we've got a show apartment which was also in the block that they did renovate, and they used that as like a model to then do the others to make sure they like it. They was like, we'll put you in there. So I was like, all right, fair enough. So then I get up to the hotel, check into the hotel room, and I kid you not, yeah, the UK has bad hotels, but this place was like, it was a motel straight off like a murder mystery movie. I can't even speak that, like thinking about it is, yeah. So like I could hear noises outside, I could hear people talking, like saying dodgy things. It stank of like, what can I say? I don't want to get demonetized on YouTube, but the green stuff, if you know what I mean. Obviously it's legal there, but in the UK it's not, so we're not used to it. So I was like, all right, this doesn't feel particularly safe and I'm starving. So what I did was, I ordered some Wingstop, got loads of wings, and they were lovely after that journey. And then I barricaded myself in the room, as you can see. So I put the chairs and stuff in front of the door just to make sure that I was fine in the morning and no like murderer comes and kicks my door down and I become on the next episode of like SWAT or Criminal Minds or something like that, do you know what I mean? I just relaxed for the night and just went to sleep until the next morning. Next day, I wake up ready to go to the Airbnb, and I think, you know what, I'm in sunny California, let's stick some shorts on, let's put a vest top on and carry a t-shirt. So then I did that, got a shower and everything. And also I woke up with a massive rash on my face as well. My face was all red, it was disgusting. So I was like, all right, it's a baddish start, but I'm not gonna like let it ruin my day. So obviously I got a wash and I thought, let's prepare for a nice day in Cali. Put my clothes on, pack up my suitcase, put everything back together, put the lock on my suitcase, strap the suitcase and everything, open the door and walk outside. And what's happening? It's raining. Absolutely like peeing it down with so much rain. And I'm just like, can this holiday get any worse? I have an 8-hour coach journey with some guy trying to kick me all the time. 13-hour flight, which, you know, no one likes 13 hours flights. Get to the hotel and Airbnb, and then obviously my Airbnb is messed up. Had to stay in some dodgy motel for the night, wake up with a rash, and now it's raining. I'm like, guys, come on. I'm like traveling on my own. Can no good parts like come from this? So I thought, you know what, I can either sit here, complain, or just make the most of my day, because like I'm only affecting me. If I'm being mad and I'm being annoyed, it's only me that's affected. So I thought, you know what, forget it, let's just get on with the day. Reopen my suitcase, a whole like farce to get like joggers out and a hoodie and everything, but whatever. So then I go down to the hotel reception, pick up the keys for the new Airbnb room, jump in a taxi, which thankfully they paid for and I didn't have to pay for it, and when on my way to the Airbnb. I might have some footage of this, I can't remember if I did or not, but the Uber lady, she was super nice. It was this Mexican lady and she was trying to set me up with her daughter, and I was like, it's the first day there, of course I'll go on a date with your daughter. So she gave me her daughter's Instagram and her daughter's phone number, and I'll share what happened with that another time. I get to the Airbnb, and guys, when I tell you this Airbnb was super crazy for the price I paid, this Airbnb was amazing. Like, it was a little 1-bed studio, and I say 1-bed studio because obviously the bed was in with the living space. And if you see my home tour, then you know exactly what I'm on about. I will put a little clip here, but if you haven't, go check that video out. But it was like big enough to be like a 1-bedroom like apartment, because I had a separate kitchen, like a full-on kitchen. I then had a living area with my TV and like a desk and some seating. Had the bed, had a bathroom with a little walk-in wardrobe kind of thing. Well, like a bathroom sink and a walk-in wardrobe, and then a bathroom with the bath and the toilet in. And it wasn't tiny, it was actually pretty big, and I was there for 5 weeks. And can anyone guess what I paid for 5 weeks in San Diego, right in the middle of Little Italy, which is like in the centre? $1,700, which in British pounds is about 1,400 British pounds for 5 weeks. That's cheaper than like rent, because it included bills, the water, the electric. There was gas, I didn't use it because I was too scared, but like it covered everything. So I thought that was a pretty decent deal, because what, 1,400 for 5 weeks works out as £280 a week for a centrally located apartment in the middle of San Diego. £40 a night, $40 a night. So it's like £36 a night. So I thought that was a pretty decent deal, to be fair. So obviously this is the first day in San Diego. It was ruined by the rain. So I just thought, you know what, let's prep the apartment, make it nice. So I went down to Ralph's, which is like their kind of like bougie supermarket. I guess it's like a Waitrose. That's kind of the vibe I got from that. So I went down to Ralph's, picked up some cleaning supplies and some food and bits and bats, you know, for the apartment, some toothbrush and toothpaste and everything. So I don't bring it with me because I'm scared it'll open up in the suitcase and explode everywhere, and no one wants that. So yeah, go down to Ralph's, and Ralph's in itself was an experience. I've obviously never been to an American supermarket, and it just looked pretty cool, I can't lie, it was super duper cool. So go back to the apartment, traipsing through the rain, walking for a long time, absolutely soaked, got changed and everything. So I started wiping down the sides and everything, putting paper towels in the bottom of the chest of drawers because I didn't want my clothes and my like underwear and stuff to be touching them because I don't know what's been on them. So then I started cleaning and everything. I just thought, you know, I'm allergic to pretty much everything. I may as well make sure there's no dust, no like mold or, you know, like anything like that, and everything's spotless. So then that's pretty much what I did on my first night. Later on in the day it did start to get nice, and there was a Starbucks literally like 2 minutes from where I was. So I went down to Starbucks, got a hot chocolate, spoke to some of the staff, they were nice, and just sat inside, had the drink. Some customers were also there, and we were just chatting with some of the locals. And obviously being a British person, I don't think you understand how much the locals want to talk to you, and you're like the centre of attention when you're in the room as a British person. It's unreal because obviously here you mix in normally, but over there, being British and being mixed race, you get massive bonus points, and it was nice to feel wanted somewhere for a change. So then after Starbucks I went for a walk down the front of the bay. It was really nice, everything was lit up, and obviously San Diego downtown isn't seafront, it's like a little bay that there is, and then on the other side is Coronado Island, which is then where the beach and the seafront is. It's like walking through the bay, seeing all the yachts, seeing the like pirate ships, and everything was like lit up, and there's a police station which also looked like it was out of, you know, like San Andreas GTA, which was pretty cool. I was like, am I in a real life video game? Obviously it's the first time I've been to America, so it all amazed me. And then walked down, and then on the way back I thought, I seen this little courtyard area with like little fairy lights, and there's people singing live and musicians live in Little Italy. It's like the heart of the nightlife, I guess. So I sat down there watching the sunset, and guys, when I tell you this has to be the best sunset I've ever seen, it was amazing. It was all purple and pink in colour, like it was so cool. I got some footage of it. It was amazing to just sit there, listen to people singing live, playing music live. Everyone's just happy, and there's a food place. I just had some nice tacos, and it was amazing. It was really, really good. So guys, day 2, and this is where the fun starts, which is why I've come to my bed to relax, and now I can reminisce in the amazing times I had there. So I don't know what it is, like if anyone else is like this, comment down below and let me know. But whenever I'm in a warm country, I always wake up super early. So then I ended up waking up at 7 AM. I didn't go to sleep late either. I went to sleep pretty early. It was about 10 PM because, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty scared to be out on the streets at that time because I don't know how safe it was at that point. So I woke up at 7 AM, had some of the top tarts. The Pop-Tarts that I bought the day before from Ralph's because they're on offer, 2 for $7, which is like 2 for £6. And here they're probably like 1 packet for £6 because obviously it's an American thing. So I wake up, have some Pop-Tarts, got a shower, got ready, etc. Then I just went for a little walk around the area because where I was, it was right next to Balboa Park as well. So it was a nice little scenic kind of walk because Little Italy, Balboa Park and Hillcrest are all in like the same kind of like walking distance, so you get 3 of the main areas right next to each other. So then I went for a walk, then came back, got changed, and then this is where it gets super fun. So, you know, be ready and listen to this bit. All I'm gonna say is one word: IHOP. Oh my gosh, let me tell you now, yeah, IHOP is one of the best dessert / like food spots that I've ever been. Honestly, this place makes the best and most delicious pancakes I've ever tasted. And if you haven't seen the video, be sure to definitely watch the video where I try IHOP for the first time. Oh, it's so tasty, so tasty. I got the Mexican tres leches pancakes, which is basically means 3 milks, and it's like, if you've had a milk cake, it's kind of like the sauce that they use with the milk cake. They use that with the pancake and drizzle it all over it, and it tastes so good. It literally is the tastiest thing that I've ever had. And to have them for like a brunch kind of thing, because it was about 11 o'clock-ish, just before lunch and just after breakfast, on my second day in, was the absolute most exciting thing that I've done. And I'm not even joking, I like them that much to the point where I was getting them every 2 days since like that day. And because IHOP was literally like a 15-minute trolley journey from where I was, it didn't take long to get there at all. And if you don't know what the trolley is, it's like the underground but overground, if that makes sense. It's like a train, but they call it trolley. You just go on it, same as the bus, 251 journey. You can go all the way up to the top. I think the furthest point you could go on a trolley was UTC, which is near La Jolla, so just $2.50, and I think that's pretty cheap, to be fair. I just bought a monthly pass of that because it was like $60 for a monthly pass on the trolley, and I was probably doing about 5-6 journeys a day, so $12 a day I'd be paying. So over a month I'd have paid close to like $300-400, so it was definitely worth it. And honestly guys, not only was the food amazing from IHOP, that particular IHOP was in an amazing location. There were palm trees everywhere, there's water fountains, it was right next to like the hills, you could see the hills. There was an IKEA as well, so you know, I obviously had to go check out IKEA. That itself was a little bit of a disappointment because it just looked exactly like the UK IKEA, so I was a bit like, well, that was a waste. But it was nice being there, and as you can see from all the videos I'm showing, I was really happy. Like, probably the happiest I've been in a long time while I was out there, and I was only 3 days in, so it was definitely worth it, definitely worth it. The next day after the IHOP day is when I discovered In-N-Out. Now if you don't know what In-N-Out is, they make cheeseburgers, and literally that's it. They got the In-N-Out burger, the In-N-Out cheeseburger, and the In-N-Out double, which is basically just double cheeseburger, and that's literally the only 3 things they have on the menu. Then they got fries, and they got milkshakes and like normal drinks, and their pink lemonade. If you ever go to In-N-Out, definitely get the pink lemonade, it tastes amazing. I'm not going to bore you about all the talk about In-N-Out because I did do a whole video on that as well, so make sure you go check that out. In-N-Out was right next to Fashion Valley, and wow, Fashion Valley has to be the most beautiful shopping mall I've ever seen. And I've been to many shopping malls. I've been to London ones, been to ones in Dubai, went to LA when I went up to LA towards the end of the trip, and I'm not even lying when I say that I think Fashion Valley is one of the prettiest and most aesthetically pleasing malls I've ever seen. There's palm trees on palm trees on palm trees, an amazing outdoor food court with like swinging chairs so you can sit in the palm trees and eat. A pretty good selection of shops. They've got a massive like designer section downstairs. You got the likes of like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Gucci, like all them downstairs, and then like normal shops at the top and the other half of the downstairs. Don't get me wrong, it's not the biggest of malls, but the fact it's smaller actually makes it better because I went there every day that I was in San Diego. I'm not even joking, every single day I went to Fashion Valley, but that's because they had amazing Wi-Fi and I had to upload videos, so it was really helpful. But I went there every single day at different times a day, sometimes even twice a day, and I'm not even joking to you, it was never busy once. Never busy or full of people one time. How they manage that, I don't know, but it was amazing because if you go to some of these malls, like especially ones in London, even ones around me, and sometimes Dubai Mall at like busy times at peak hours, you are like pushing through people and queuing for ages to pay for anything, or you got queues outside shops to go into shops because there's too many people in there, but not here. Honestly, don't know what they've done, but Fashion Valley and San Diego, you smashed it with that mall. That has to be one of my favorite places I went to, and I didn't even do many shopping. Like, I probably bought one t-shirt from Fashion Valley and this t-shirt from down at Seaport Village. Without the shopping, it was a whole experience and fun in itself. Ooh, and there was a Panda Express, and I'm a massive fan of Panda Express, so you know, had to go there and try that out. So next day I go to Coronado Island. Literally, I even said that American, didn't I? Literally the most beautiful beach. Oh no. Second most beautiful beach, because I've been to Maldives as well and that beach was amazing, I've ever been to. Like, I'm not even joking, this place, so clean, the sand was so white, the island super clean. It was like a mix of a modern day kind of, you've seen Outer Banks, right? It's like a modern day Outer Banks kind of island. The houses are like worth so much money. It's got nice hotels, bougie little restaurants, bougie little shops. It was an experience in itself just going to Coronado Island, and you can only get there by either ferry or by driving on the bridge. Obviously I didn't have a car, so I had to go by ferry, and it was pretty decent. It was like a $7 return, $7 return, sorry. It was pretty cheap, it was worth it, but getting from the ferry point of the island to where the beach and the hotel is on the other side, that's like a 40-minute walk. Or there is a bus, I think, but trust me guys, don't be lazy, take the walk. The stuff you see on the way is amazing. Go through the little streets, you meet some of the locals are all friendly, they talk to you. It's like a real life Desperate Housewives kind of thing, obviously minus all the bad stuff that happens in that, but it was really, really nice to be. So get to the other side, you get the famous Coronado Hotel del Coronado, and this place is like a fairy tale kind of castle hotel kind of vibe. It's so nice. So I got some facts for you because I just have to spit some facts about this hotel because it is amazing. The hotel is the oldest hotel, I believe, in California, but don't quote me on that. I'm not Google. It was built in 1888 and it was the last building to be made entirely out of wood. And even people like Marilyn Monroe, Charlie Chaplin, Brad Pitt, and even Oprah has stayed there. That's how good it is. People like staying there that much. It's even rumored to be haunted, but like extremely haunted. And one of the people that they think is haunting it is a lady called Kate Morgan, who came to the hotel for Thanksgiving in 1892. They had unfortunately never left. So they think that she's haunting the grounds. The most cool fact is that it was the first commercial building with electricity, and the main man himself, Thomas Edison, installed the electricity in this building himself. Like, he did it himself. And this was the first non-residential building that used his electricity. Like, I walked in the same place that Thomas Edison did. I flicked on the switches that Thomas Edison put on. I put on the lights that Thomas Edison put on. Like, how crazy is that? And next to the hotel is the amazing white beach, which is so unique, and it even says Coronado on it in big like writing, so when you come in on the plane you can see it, which is pretty cool. And obviously, like I said, on the island there's a bunch of like cool traditional American houses, and I think the average price of a house on Coronado Island is like $3 million. That's how nice they are, and as you can see, they're amazing. Skip forward a few days and it was my birthday. I turned 26 and this whole trip was like a little birthday getaway that I trekked to myself to like get away from everything back home and obviously celebrate turning 26, although after turning 21 you just don't celebrate any birthdays because no one wants to celebrate them after that. And don't get me wrong, I really do thank my parents for like all the birthdays they've thrown me, all the parties they've given me in the years, but this had to be the best birthday I've ever had in my life. It was just an experience and it was amazing. Even though I was on my own, maybe that was the one thing I'd change, but I actually quite liked it, I'm not gonna lie. I quite like being by myself. If anyone else is like that, let me know. Birthday day, started off nice and early as always. Quick early morning, go to get a shower, get changed, blah blah blah, get dressed, and I even did a little workout, and I regretted it later, which you'll find out in a second from what I did next. So then obviously I had to start the day, of course, with the amazing breakfast from IHOP. Went to IHOP, got some pancakes, full 5 stack because it's my birthday. Why am I gonna half stack it? I'm gonna full stack it. And obviously I'm 26 years old. Where else would a 26-year-old want to be on his birthday other than IHOP? Am I wrong? Let me know below. Then what I actually spent most of my birthday doing was going on a hike up Torrey Pines. And if you don't know what Torrey Pines is, it's like a natural state national park kind of thing, which has all like the natural and OG things, or like land of California, if that makes sense. And to get there, it was a tough trek anyways. It was like 2 buses and 2 trolleys to get to the location, which took about an hour and a half, but it was totally worth it from the views that were there. And the people are all friendly. They're all like, they're not gym freaks, but they just like working out and they like keeping fit and healthy. So obviously they're like nice people. So super friendly, super peaceful, super relaxing. And it was just nice to go somewhere and just sit down, listen to the waves, smell the fresh air, and you know, just reflect on what really matters in life, because it gives you a different perspective on what you want in life when you're in places like that than if you just don't go and take in some of like natural nature. And as a bonus, I had a view of La Jolla, and La Jolla is an amazing area in itself. It's where all the seals are and like posh shops, posh houses, and it's where like all the millionaires go to chill on like the beach and stuff. So I could see that from where I was on the cliffs. And if you haven't seen my La Jolla vlog, go check it out. You'll see there exactly what it's like, and the seals that are very, very, I don't want to say dangerous, but like over friendly. And I'll be honest, I'm not usually like a huge nature guy. Like I don't usually go to places around me, because in Yorkshire, we have like the what's it called, I don't even know, I've got American words in my head, but we have like a similar area where you can walk through like the hills and stuff. Yorkshire Dales, we have the Yorkshire Dales. But while I was there, I was even asking like the park rangers information about the place, because they walk around and give you information, and I think they're there to protect the wildlife and protect the area, so you're not littering or like breaking stuff or climbing on things you shouldn't. But they're like fully like knowledged up on the area, so I was asking them and they was telling me about all the hawks that are around and they fly around and stuff, the snakes that are like slithering through the paths and to watch out for, and even you can see dolphins in the ocean if you sit on a specific place and there's like some seating there. So I sat there and obviously you can see the dolphins just going through the water and stuff. That was pretty cool in themselves. But yeah, I just found it super interesting, and like I said, I don't normally go and do this sort of thing, but that day, my birthday, changed me on what I want to do. You just don't get it until you do it. And I even got my birthday pic up there, so if you haven't seen it already, go to my Instagram. My username is Mr. Zeb98, and go like my birthday picture, because there's a bunch on there from this day. Torrey Pines is a truly special place, and if I lived in California, I'm not even joking, I probably would go there every morning and start my day off there with a little like mini hike. It does take about 3 to 4 hours to walk through it all and see it all, but there is like some shortcuts and some paths that you can take. So if I lived there, I probably would go there every morning, do like an hour and a half hike really early in the morning, see the sunrise. Just start your day off like that, because how you start your day determines how the rest of your day goes, and that is a fact that I live by. Start it off good, your day is going to go good. Start it off bad, your day is going to go bad, and that's just facts. So in the evening, I went for my birthday meal. Obviously, your boy had to dress up nice and I had to look fly, because you never know when a cute Mexican California girl will cross my path, and I don't want to be looking bad, do I? For my birthday meal, I went down to Cheesecake Factory in Seaport Village, which is like at the bottom of downtown San Diego, right next to the bay. And I've been to Cheesecake Factory before in Dubai, so when I seen they had one here, I was like, I have to go, because they've got two. They've got one down in Seaport and one up by Fashion Valley in the shopping centre, and I just thought the one by Seaport will probably be like better, because it's in the original police station, which was pretty cool. Like the first ever police station, they've like done it out to be like restaurants, because it's like a courtyard, it's not all indoors, and you get the view of the bay and everything, which was pretty cool. I went to Cheesecake Factory. I had to book the table for 2 people as well, because they don't let you book for one, which is pretty strange, because why not? Like, go take yourself out for food. Like, one of the best things I ever do is go and get food on my own, and I don't know what it is, but there's just something like therapeutic, like it just resets your mind, and I think it's good for your mental to go and eat on your own, and it just makes you comfortable being on your own and just gives you a whole new experience to restaurant eating that you're just not used to. However, the dude did look at me funny when I told him I'm going to be there on my own and I didn't have like a date with me or anything, and I told him it was my birthday. So he was like, are you sure no one else is coming? Like, do you want to wait? Have they cancelled? Like, are you good? And I'm just like, dude, I'm there on my own. I'm from the UK. I just want to enjoy my birthday by myself. And like I said, best decision I ever made. Food wise, this bit I know you all want to see. For starters, I got a cheese flatbread and chicken taquitos, which if you've never had chicken taquitos, trust me, you're missing out. Go down to your like favorite Mexican spot. I don't even care if you click off this video right now, as long as you go and get some Mexican chicken taquitos, because they are amazing. I've never had them before this day and they tasted amazing. They were covered in some like salad and like some cilantro and everything. You can see on the picture anyway, but it was really good. The mains, I got a chicken chipotle pasta, which probably the best pasta I've ever tasted. And for dessert, I got a salted caramel cheesecake, because they give you free cheesecake if it's your birthday at Cheesecake Factory. So that's a little life hack for you if you ever go to Cheesecake Factory, because their cheesecake is a 10 out of 10 and everyone knows that. The food in total came to like $50 before tipping. So I think for 40 British pounds, a meal at Cheesecake Factory of that quality is pretty good, considering if I went to Nando's in the UK and got a 3-star meal, I got like a starter, I got mains, and then I got a dessert. Probably paying like £30 anyway, so I think it's pretty good to get that high of a grade of a meal. So unfortunately, like I said, I can't fit everything into this video, and there is so much more to come. Like for example, when I went up to the hills in the north to like Mira Mesa and Poway, and I met Broadis, I met FaZe Rug, saw Clint, saw Simplistic, and I even saw Mama Rug. So if you want to know about that story, let me know in the comment below. There's so much stuff that I did out there that I would love to fit in, but I don't want to make this video super long. If you want to see La Jolla, the mountains, Los Angeles, and like every behind the scenes and stuff that you've not seen before on that, then comment down below. It's been Jordan. Give this video a like, comment any comments that you've got, subscribe with your post notifications on, and I'll be back with a new video. Peace out, guys.